Hello, welcome back to Sparks of Hope. Last time around, we made our way through the tutorial and have now found our way to the first world, Beacon Beach. This time around, this man seems to be screaming. Sir, what seems to be the issue? Sir, you have to speak with me. You can't just scream. Is it the puddle? The puddle dirty? You don't want to touch it? Well, I'll touch it because I'm not a coward. Alright, I probably shouldn't have touched it. Alright, look at it. I thought it was just some ink somebody spilled. Everything's fine now. Okay, now we're good. So this is the setup for the fights. You just touch a weird black goo and all of a sudden you're in another reality. It's a little unclear, but I think it's just kind of that. So, you notice how we made it to an area with enemies we haven't actually encountered yet? You notice there were bombs down there. You're gonna do that a lot, where you can do side quests that introduce enemy types way before you'll actually encounter them in I'm gonna put quote-unquote story, where they basically give you a tutorial for how they actually function. I'm gonna give you a quick overview of how the level up system for the Sparks works. You just feed them star bits, star potions max instantly levels them up, but it eats up your star bits if you already gave them some, so save it for the end. Tip! So the max level for Sparks is level 5, so it's not that high up. So what I would recommend is save your star potions for when they're level 4, about to become 5. And then just dump all the potions for level 4s into the 5s, because that requires the most star bits to get to. If I'm being honest, star bits are not hard to come by. You're gonna have, I don't want to say plenty, but you're gonna have more than you know what to do with after a while. Here's your item count. We just have 2 super mushrooms because we got some from Salesbot, $9.99 plus tax. It just heals 30% of your health. It's pretty self-explanatory. Right now we only have 2 sparks, which is one for one for both your characters, so you're pretty much always gonna be flipping around between them for a while. Alright, so how the sparks actually function is you have your actual ability, which triggers when you use them, and then you see that secondary one. I don't think they ever mention it. It's just kind of something that they bring up on this screen, nowhere else. It says Attack Master. This one just increases your weapon-based damage by 10. These are just permanent buffs. As long as you have this spark equipped, you will always get this benefit. Reflectors is honestly one of the better ones, because just buffing your damage is just good. And then Physical Protector is just the defensive version of that. So physical damage is reduced by 15. I do not know what counts as physical damage and what doesn't. I'm assuming when they mean physical damage, they mean either direct attacks like the Goomba's dashing, or if it means anything weapon-based, like a primary attack. I don't know. Now that we can also... I'm sorry, we're gonna be in tutorial land for a while here. This game is both complicated and simple, so I'm sorry. So now that we can actually use all the characters, I'm going to give quick overviews of how they function, and when I actually use them, I'll go in a little bit more detail. But right now, we're just going to give quick overviews. Luigi does more damage the farther away he is, his special ability is Hero Sight, but better, because it's just way longer range, and you can buff it to holy hell. Rabbids Mario is close range, but man, does he hit hard. His special ability is probably one of the weaker ones. It's called Counter Blow. It's when he is hit by a weapon attack, he just hits them back. That's it. It doesn't reduce the damage he takes. There is ways to get more creative with it. Like, giving him Reflector is actually not a bad idea, because you can combo it with Peach's ability, which we'll get to, and you can actually rack up a lot of damage really fast. The issue with it being is that it just, if you wanted to do Counter Blow and Reflector, it would take up both of your action points that turn, which just feels like kind of a waste most of the time. And there's also a strategy you get with Rabbids Mario about halfway through the game that is insanely strong. But we'll get to that. Mario we've already gone over. Rabbids Luigi, in this game, he is best described as... Oh, you can't... Okay, see here. The Brawler, Sneak Attacker, and the Pest. I don't know how to feel about him. He's not awful. I think all the characters in this game are solid, which is good. It's just that he kind of is more of a niche that isn't filled that often. When it's filled, he does it spectacularly. It's just that you don't see it that much. So the gimmick of his weapon is that it hits multiple targets, and it's not like a spread range like a cone, like Peach's shotgun, like the Boombrella is, or the Dukes are. How it works is that you target one enemy, and then it will ricochet from one enemy to another, and it'll keep going until it either reaches max rebounds or hits a wall. So kind of like, you target one enemy, and then it bounces to that enemy, and it'll basically re-aim as if you were standing in that location throwing it at another enemy that's in range. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And his ability is called Exhaust, which puts Weaken on enemies, which reduces their damage, and you can later upgrade it to also reduce their defense. It's quite good, it's just, again, it's kind of niche, because I feel like the two Peaches are just slightly better at that kind of role, of just longevity. But he's not terrible, I will not say he's the worst. Peach is a shotgun, and it's literally just a shotgun. It's just spread shot in front of her. The closer you are, the more damage it does. The farther away they are, the less damage it does. It is just a shotgun. She gets the ability to her ability puts up barriers. I'll put barrier in quotes. It basically just means that you cannot take damage from that many hits. Keep in mind, if something were to do extra hits, each individual shot will deal damage to that barrier. So if you have two barriers and you get hit by a move that hits twice, it'll break both barriers. You start with two barriers you set up, and you can get to a max, I think, of 4 or 5. So you're essentially invincible for a turn. And it spreads out to a cone around her, kind of like Rabbid Peach's healing. And Rabbid Peach have already gone over. So that's like a quick overview of everybody. We'll get into more detail when we start to use them a bit more. I'm just going to show off Luigi and Rabbid Mario now, just so you can kind of get a feel for them. Okay, yeah, so here's a tutorial for an enemy we haven't actually encountered yet, because we're not supposed... They didn't expect you to come here first, even though it's right in front of where you start. Bombs. They function kind of like Goombas, where your main gimmick is that you dash into them, and you can pick them up, and then throw them and they explode. Keep in mind, if you dash into them, they have a timer that ticks down. If that timer reaches 0 and you haven't picked them up, or worse, you're already holding them, they're just gonna explode in your hand. So get rid of them fast. Also, if they take any damage at all, they instantly explode. Their main method of attack is if they get up close to you, they just explode. That's all they do. And they do a lot of damage. So they should actually be a high priority. Stooge down there. Also, now that we're here, if you press down the left stick, you get Tacticam, which lets you just look around and see the enemies. So yeah, this is a Stooge, and it'll give you like a small overview of what it does. I'm kind of annoyed they don't do this in the tutorial, but hey. You can also check their movement and abilities and attacks if they have any. It'll also give you their strengths and what they're resistant or immune to, as well as what they're weak to. We will get to that when that becomes applicable. It also gives you their max health, what their level is, and what their, like, a small overview of the character and how they kind of function. Pick this up, and kaboom! The Rabbid Mario is up close and personal. Like, he's barely in my range. But as you can see, 162 damage. That's pretty good for this early on. See, is there a way to get to that guy without putting Rabbid Mario in danger? I don't think there is. Oh, that's a jump I don't think I can make. Because I think I'd be in that bomb's range. I still haven't 100% put together what the max range of a bomb is. I'm still working on some of these. Oh, come on, really? Really? He's right there. Come on, there we go. Am I still under the cover? I am not. Great. There's like Luigi's. It's still a stare. Look at that range. You can increase that further. Now, unfortunately, it's not that useful in this fight because the Goombas are always going to go first and they're just going to eat it up. So, I'm probably going to play a little more defensive here. I'll be honest, looking back, Rabbid Mario, not the best idea for this. I just wanted to show them off. This is also because we're technically also underleveled here, so hey. Also, I don't want to go near that bomb. I am actually gonna run away like a coward here. Is there a way I can get hit in on that guy? Am I in range of that stooge if I stay here? I believe stooges will not try to attack if they're not behind cover. I should be safe here with the angle. That should be fine.
Yeah, all right. Whoa, yeah.
Well. In for a penny.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is kind of the curse of Rabbid Mario, is that he can't move after attacking. The counter blow actually has a good amount of range. It's just that it's, again, not that useful. It falls under the I wish it was better than it was. But I'm still going to show it off just so you can see the animation. I do like all the hero ability animations. I think they're all pretty good. Just in case he decides to take a shot at me. So yeah, if you run out of action points, it'll automatically end your turn. And also if you couldn't move. So if you have like no options of what else you can do, it'll automatically end your turn. Which I appreciate. Past you, I would like to get to the bomb, please. I would like to get to the explosive, please. Yeah, Luigi has some freaking rage. He can move. Luigi and Rabbid Mario both get an absurd amount of range they can cover, so they can just hoof it if you need them to.
Here goes.
Try and land right around.
Boom. So strong.
Can I get both of them? I can't.
Here
I'm
goes.
gonna kill. I didn't think that part through.
Gobble, gobble.
Alright, look, again. Never claimed to be a smart man. Never once in my life have I ever claimed that. For some reason, I, like, blanked out that there was, you know, a giant hole there. Hang on a second, I gotta get this guy away real quick. Excuse me, sir. Sir, please excuse me. Not trying to be rude, just would like to move by, please. Thank you, have a nice day. Yeah, that's the case. Yeah, Turbocharge buffs everybody in its radius, it's not just you, which is nice. Yeah, the Rabbid Mario's about to get decked here in a second. Out of sheer pettiness! Take that! Yeah, Luigi can only single target people. No, here's Steely Stare, you're gonna be seeing this a lot. He is ready. Where are you going? Ouch.
Knockout.
Take that.
Wait,
Yeah, it's the first real fight. So, one touch about the experience in this game.
Feeling stronger.
It is shared between all your characters. There is never a point where a character will be falling behind in levels. It's a set. Even though everybody has separate experience bars, it's essentially one giant shared bar, including for characters that we don't have yet. So which is actually very nice. I appreciate that. Okay, let's level up. We got skill prisms, which is your level up tree. This is cool because you're never locked in to a dedicated choice with your level ups. If I were to dump one here, I can have a couple fights with this, and then refund it whenever I want. I think that is fantastic. I love that feature. Because no matter what, you can never fill out the entire skill tree, but having the ability to kind of mix and match whenever you want is really cool, and I like that. Okay, so here, I'm going to go over some of the upgrades here. I'm sorry I'm tutorializing a lot. There's a lot to go over. Also, there's that one on the far right. Don't worry about that for a while. If I were to give a recommendation on what to buff with Luigi, it would be buffing Steely Stare.
Yep.
Steely Stare is easily the best thing he has. And then I would say get the one for critical damage, because that unlocks these two, and you want the high ground. Guaranteed critical hits if you are at a higher elevation than your target. Super good. Because when you max out Steely Stare, you can fire 3 Steely Stares in a turn. They deal 120% damage. You have only 2 turns to wait before you can use it. It goes through projectiles and terrain, so it'll never miss. And it can deal a guaranteed critical with buffed critical damage. This thing can shred enemies. This is the thing that single-handedly makes Luigi one of the stronger characters, in my opinion. Just because of how insane it gets. You can also get double team jumps. If you do a team jump, you can increase your movement range and get extra dashes. I don't think I've ever gone for the extra dash one, because it's honestly not that useful, because Luigi's dash is quite weak. And also, a dash requires you to be right next to an enemy, something Luigi never wants to do. You can buff health, you can buff chill out, you can... chill out just means you gain health back at the end of a fight. Normally, you don't get health back at the end of fights. So that Goomba dash actually is going to matter a little bit. And Healing Sponge increases the amount of health you recover if you were to heal. These are shared between all the characters. Like, all the ones on the far left and all the ones on the far right, the one we don't have yet, those are shared between all characters. They will always have these options on the skill tree. So movement, weapon, and technique are unique to character. Health and the one far right are not. So I'm going to save up with Luigi just to get Ghost Projectile, even though I just said you can just dump into other things and get it back later. So I'm actually I'm going to save up for Ghost Bullet first, but for now, I'm probably going to buff either movement range or Steely Stare damage, because I feel like those are going to be the most useful. The only reason I'm hesitant on the damage is just because in this first world, you fight a lot of Goombas, and so Steely Stare is kind of useless for a little bit. So if you played through just the first world, you didn't think Luigi was that great, try him again in other worlds. Boy, once Goombas stop becoming everywhere, boy, Luigi does work. Alright, Rabbid Mario. Priority number 1. No limits. He gets the ability to move even after using his primary weapon. It completely removes the biggest flaw with his character. And that he has to be super up close to an enemy just to attack them, which would leave him vulnerable. So you can beat the crap out of somebody and then get out and get the hell out of dodge, because his movement range is really, really high. So you can basically walk across the battlefield, punch somebody in the face, and then casually walk back. Next priority would be Punch Frenzy, which just adds and makes your 3-hit combo a 5-hit combo, so it's just more damage. And you got to get the critical hit chance to get to this one. You got to get the weapon damage to get to this one. These both take 4, I believe. So it'll be 8 for both of these. Plus the 3 it'll take to get these 2. So you have to be level 11. Kind of. We'll get to that. To get all of these abilities. Which, boy, do they work. Next thing I would say is Area Dash. Just because it makes your dash have area of effect damage. You can increase the distance it covers. Honestly, I don't think I ever did. It's not that useful. And you can get a second dash. Upgrading your dashes is very good for most characters. Having extra dashes is almost always nice, save for Luigi, who I already covered. Just because it's free damage, and most of the time you can run up, dash, and then do whatever afterwards. The only reason why it doesn't work with Luigi is his are both really weak with no way to buff the damage, really. And you have to be really close to the enemy, which is something you don't want to do. Alright, next up, Mario. Mario plays weird. Despite him being kind of the default character, his moveset's bizarre compared to everybody else's. He has the double shot, which is unique. You can buff Hero Sight to always trigger every turn if you want. You get additional charges, meaning you can hit twice on every turn rather than just once after your use. Sight again, which if you kill an enemy with Hero Sight, you get to fire again with Hero Sight. You can effectively get potentially infinite charges. You buff the damage, which is obvious. You get Jump Shot, the ability to shoot in the air. And you do get to keep moving after shooting. So he kind of has what Rabbid Mario has, but to a lesser degree. Because you'll still have the reduced range after the shot. Next thing. He has the ability to Stomp. You can just Goomba Stomp enemies. So if you notice in that tutorial, it's showing you that you can't continue to glide afterwards. Until you get this. In which case, I'd say, don't even bother with the Stomp until you can get Stomp and Glide. Because the Stomp on its own is not very good. Stomp and Glide is where it's at. Keep in mind, Stomp and Glide also refreshes your glide timer. So, you can also get multiple stomps to a max of 3. You can also boost your glide boost. I think every character gets this. It just increases the amount of time you can glide for. Specifically on team jumps, there's ways to glide without a team jump, such as the Mario Stomping Glide. In which case, this does not buff those. It's specifically only on team jumps, so you have to remember that. Stomping Glide is the way to go for Mario with the jump shot, because it also increases his damage if you shoot from the air. So I pretty much always want to be doing that with Mario. Second helping. Sounds nice. Never used it. Critical hit chance, weapon range, which is nice. Keep in mind, this also applies to Luigi. If you buff the weapon range, it also buffs their skill range. It's only for Mario and Luigi because their skill range specifically is based off of their weapon. That's what I was talking about when I say you can increase the range of Steely Stare. Because 37 meters is a lot. It's a lot. I'm sorry, I forgot to buff something in here. Buff critical hit chance, why not? 5 to 10, it's probably not gonna matter, but hey. And you got like your buffs to counter blow, which honestly aren't that useful. It's just like more range, shorter cooldown, more charges, and more damage. That's pretty much true for everybody's. It's just more range, more uses. It's just that some are better than others. There are these ones that are like in the weird like spike shape instead of the circle shape. I don't know why that is. It doesn't seem to do anything different. So I'm sorry I can't be of more use on that. I'm just gonna buff range for now. Actually, no, I'm gonna buff here. Nah, Hero Sight's not gonna be that useful right now, because Goombas. I'll just buff weapon range right now. Rabbid Peach. I focus on buffing her healing range, like her cooldown, and her actual healing amount. And then the main thing you want to go for outside of that is healing jump. When you land, you heal yourself and everybody in your vicinity within a 5-meter radius. Essentially, if they're within dash range, they're within heal range. And you can buff that to be 15%. This does trigger off of other types of gliding. But remember that, it's not specifically off of team jumps. And it's also only a one-time use per turn. You can't choose not to do it. Kind of. Again, we'll get to that. There's workarounds around that, but we'll get to that when it becomes applicable. You can also get extra dashes, which is just nice. For her, it's not super necessary. It's just nice to have if you can get it. But primarily, I like focusing on her being healing, because she is the only healer. I need my characters to not die, because we're playing on demanding, and you can die in one hit. So if you see me being really, really cautious with how I play, you kind of have to be. So for her weapons, it's just critical hit, range. Final hit's pretty good, because it just does... The final rocket does more damage. And life trade. If she kills an enemy, she recovers 20% of her health. Similar to Mario's guarantee damage thing. It sounds nice. It's not as useful as you'd think. So I'd say prioritize cooldown, mega heal, and then the healing jumps. If you want to make your dedicated healing. If you didn't want to, I'd say probably just focus... Really, I'd say still focus on those regardless, just because they're nice to have. But be a little bit more frugal about bumping up her weapons. I'm going to buff her final hit for now. Rabbid Luigi. I've already covered how his weapon works, so we're gonna go with just like more of recommendations more than anything else. Movement range is nice. Exhaust dash. This is good. When he does a dash, inflicts the weaken the status effect onto enemies. That is very good. Because normally the only way to do that is with specifically his hero skill, which has at most a 2-turn cooldown at your best situation. I'll be honest, with buffing range, I've never felt the need to do it. You'd be surprised how much ground this his and Rabbid Peach's actually covers. I don't think I've ever felt the need to buff any of their ranges outside of Luigi's and Mario's, just because it's kind of how theirs works. Yeah. I'd say go for getting Weapon Plus, because it can reduce 70% at max, which is very strong. As in, even by the end game, enemies will now be doing 0 damage to you, which is incredibly strong. It's why I say he's good. It's just that he kind of fills a niche that doesn't need to be filled most of the time. And then you get Vulnerable. Deal 30% damage to all enemies that have Vulnerable. Keep in mind, that doesn't just apply to him dealing damage. It applies to everything that deals damage to them. So a good strategy is at the start of a turn, just immediately slap Exhaust onto as many things as you can, and then just cleave through them, because they are helpless for basically a whole turn. So, niche, but real strong. And then cooldown, which I'm actually going to go for right now. First, Disruptor, it's more critical hit chance, which 60% critical hit chance with something that could potentially, when you get to this, hit 8 targets is real strong. You get like standard weapon damage buff, which is nice. Ricochet distance. It's like a roundabout way of increasing his range. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Just for an extra 2 meters, your Disruptor can potentially hit another enemy. And then chain targets. That's the one you want to go for. But you do have to get Ricochet distance up once in order to get it. The recommendation is Exhaust Dash, Vulnerable, and then do chain targets. There is a point where you're absolutely going to want max chain targets for one specific fight that we'll get to way later. But we'll probably already have it by the time we get there anyways. I'm just bringing it up now so I don't forget. Last for now, Peach. She's weird in that she's both defensive, but also needs to be in the opponent's face to deal damage. Luigi has an ability similar to this, where it's just the inverse, where the closer Luigi is, the less damage he does, and the farther away the enemy is, the less damage Peach does. So they have abilities to kind of mitigate that. Not that useful. Kind of on my least useful things on these characters. Not counting some of the generic stuff, which you really don't need. Movement range, which is always good. Extra dash, which is nice if you can afford it. Barrier jump assist. This is the one you want on movement. When you team jump off of somebody, give them 1 charge of barrier so they can take a hit for free. Keep in mind, with the barrier, it also will prevent status effects from afflicting them on that 1 hit. Remember that. Let's see, wider shot, pretty self-explanatory. It just goes, yeah. The tutorial shows you everything. Weapon damage, pretty self-explanatory. Team barrier range, self-explanatory again. Cooldown, charge. So you can get a max of 4 at max. This is what I'd say you want to go for first. And then team barrier discharge. Sounds nice, but given the tutorial really doesn't help in this case. I don't know how much damage it does. And 5 meters is not very far. I guess without she has to be, like, in the opponent's face to really deal damage, it's not that bad. It's just kind of, eh. You can go without this one. Funny Spirit sounds nice, but again, I never got it. Also because you have to go through this just to get it. And this takes 4, this takes 3. That's 7 just to get a okay ability. It's very expensive, and I don't think it's really worth it. If this was by itself, I could say go for it, or if either of these were cheaper, I would say you could get it, but just because it takes 7, I don't think it's worth it. Right now I'm gonna go for just movement range. Let's see. Hey, I guess that's it for these guys. That's kind of it for the skill tree for now. Well, God, it's been 30 minutes and I've done 1 fight and all tutorialized at you. I'm sorry about that. We completed a quest, so we got a planet coin. You get those for doing side quests, not main quests. That's something to remember. So we need 7 for that key, so I need to keep track of that. This lock means it's a side quest we can't do yet. Victor, sorry to be a wowzer, mates. I don't know what that means. But all sporting contests are postponed due to weather. Oh no. Hey, money!
Zoom, zoom.
Giant boxes over there. So I'm gonna be picking up a lot of money early on because you do kind of want money for the early game. After a while, money kind of stops being an issue, but right now I'm just gonna pick up as many as I can. So time for shape puzzles. Do you know where the square goes? Is it? I assume it's in the triangle hole. I was wrong. Also, here's another side quest over here. We're not gonna be touching that. Not even close. That Goomba with a paw on its head, that thing's really strong. We would not stand a chance. Oh, hang on. Oh, that ladder's folded up. You have to be up top to knock it down, and then you can start using it both ways. Yeah, the square goes in the square hole. And that just removes these from the pipes.
Zoom, zoom.
We gotta find a triangle for the triangular hole. See? Here's an eye here, and the goo is up there. The egg's also up there too, so we can't go there from down here. What's going on over here? But I'm sorry, I'm actually really out of practice. My throat's already starting to feel sore. It's only been 30 minutes. You know, this is a lot, where it's just like, here's random coin, and that leads to a bunch more money. There's the ledge you can jump down. That leads to a side quest we are not doing. We're not ready for that. I'm just kind of exploring around, just kind of give you a feel for what this place looks like. Thankfully, any of those eyes you destroy do not respawn. Good lord, that would be annoying if they did. So killing that now just opens that area up a lot easier. Oh, you notice that red thing down there? That should point you towards enemies. But again, it's quite buggy. Even though we're really far away, it's still there. And I think that's what it does. I honestly don't know anymore. Also, now that we're just out and about, we can have our first instance of random encounter enemies. You can sneak up to them, and then dash them. I have no idea what that does. I think it gives you a slightly better advantage in the fight. That's all I can think of on what it does. So it'll just be like a small random fight with a random objective. So this one's just defeat all, which is just 4 bombs. So we can handle that no problem. I'm gonna switch out to, Rabbids Luigi, let's show him off. Get the Luigi team. My dream team.
Oh, yeah.
Luigi is the best, and I refuse to accept any reality where that isn't true. No, I'm not just saying that because I was the little brother. I cannot reach that with you. Can. Slap you. Can I find a way to rebound this without being out in the open? I could probably just kill him, honestly. Hang on. Yeah, this is not a very good fight to show off the disruptor now that I'm looking at it. That was not a smart idea. Oh, here's the dash. Yeah, I was like, can I... Yeah, just in between the eyes. I'll have you hold B, you can skip cutscenes.
Yeah.
Bang!
Oh, yeah.
That's what Steelers Dare does.
Yeah.
I like Rabbids Luigi's win pose. Yeah, Rabbids Luigi being like a weird hip hop rapper character. That is not what I was expecting when I went into this game. I'll be honest with that. There's another side quest we are not ready to do, and the little turtle up there. We are not going to be getting near that for a while. I know it is level 2. I thought that was level 3. Yeah, there's something I'm looking for around here. I'm just trying to find him. I think it's that guy over there. Or not. Where is he? I know there's like there's an NPC around here somewhere. Actually, he might not be here yet. I guess he might not spawn in until after we do the village. It's gonna be a long time. I'm keeping an eye on that darkness tentacle. Your cursor uses them to sap all the energy from the planet. Nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Here's a red ring. So if you go through it, red coins. And you get the red coin challenge. There is one of these on every world. So we're doing this one because it is a side quest. It's just free and they're really not that difficult.
Yeah.
And when you complete it, you get a platinum coin and you get a treasure chest with just some money in it.
Got it.
Just quick and easy and good for just some quick cash if you need it. We can do this now, I guess. The bottom rung of darkness. Dark mess. Goo, it's goo. It's Super Mario Sunshine goo. So what is this one gonna be? Is this gonna be a... I think it's gonna be defeat all. We'll defeat 8 enemies. Given how they're all lined up, I kind of want to use Rabbid Mario, because I feel like that'd be useful here. I want to say Luigi, but I feel like he's not gonna be that useful here. Honestly, I might be going for the Rabbid Bros here. That might not be a bad idea. You to you. Actually, we'll do this. Okay. Do I have enough to upgrade one of these? Yeah, I do. Just gonna buff you real quick. So we can't actually get them up to 5 right out the gate. You need to have your characters at a certain level before you can upgrade them past certain points. So level 9, just to get to level 3. This early on is actually surprisingly high. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with the Rabbid Bros. See how well that goes. There's a cannon around there. Okay.
Just one more.
I'm so strong. I love all of Rabbid Mario's voice lines. They're all great. I want to see if I can just... I want the satisfaction moment. I need it.
Here we go.
Come here. Oh, can I get all 5 of them? I can't. Oh, it's so good. Oh, there's me open. Oh, but I have to get rid of him. Sorry if you get decked, but worthy sacrifice.
See ya.
Whoa.
Hey!
Take it easy.
I love that. That's my favorite one. Whenever he gets targeted, he goes, "Take it easy." Hey! With the full head swing back and everything. I love it. I reached them yet?
Making you faint.
Okay, I'll try getting close so I can grab the bomb. Whoa, 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 what's going on? Hang on a minute, that's not right!
Funky making you faint.
That's not what that's supposed to do! Huh. Yeah, like I said, this game, little bit buggy. Even after that first patch. Now we're gonna breakdance on some fools. Oh, I can! Here you go, we get a good show off moment for you.
Swish.
Bop, bop, bop.
Yeah. Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, that's an expletive to show you one. Yeah, so that gives you a better idea of how the Disruptor actually works. So yeah, usually when you beat these side quests, you get just a bunch of star bits, which is nice. This is kind of what I mean when I say you get star bits pretty haphazardly. So here's the first of these turtles. We're gonna be seeing a lot of these. We get a memory. There's a bomb. And it's essentially just like, here's your little, like, doodads of how some things work and how some characters in some locations. And they're all written from Genie's perspective. So you just start with a couple already, which is just, here is the plot so far. You just start with a lot, wow. I did not realize you started with this many. So I guess we could play some of these just to kind of get the idea.
Initializing. Existence confirmed. Commencing self-diagnostic. I am Genie, jovial, electronic, artificial, neuronic, intelligent, elite. The operating system of the new Rabbids spaceship, the WM Ark. My creator is Beepo, a primitive robot intelligence who made, oh dear, 7,685,546 errors during my initial design. 6,9,071,323 errors. 5,249,967 errors. 3,001,292 errors. 4 errors. There. All fixed.
That was fast. Okay, so they're doing this as like a joke to say like Beepo is not as smart as he thinks, but he was able to create an AI that was able to calculate locate all of its own errors and fix all of its own errors in a couple of seconds. Does that speak to how smart Genie is, or how good Beepo actually is at making these things? That's a joke that they usually do where the robot's smarter than the creator, but the creator gave them their intelligence, right? Does that speak to how actually smart the creator really is, and we're just not... I'm poking holes in the joke, and I'm gonna do that with reckless abandon. There's on to the next one.
After the events of the Megabug, Beepo saw the need for an adaptive omnilinguistic assistant to translate Rabbids. After declaring it far better when he did not know what they were thinking, he pivoted to create an adaptive AI operating system to pilot the hero's spaceship, and so created me. Beepo may look like a short-tempered, self-guided vacuum cleaner, but I am in his debt. After an exhaustive analysis of our brave Spark allies, I can confirm that they are what they appear to be, a fusion of Luma and Rabbid. The Spark's memories as to how exactly this came to be are lost to them, yet two instincts remain: their affection for their mama, Rosalina, and their deep fear of Cursa, who pursues them relentlessly throughout the galaxy in hopes of seizing their tremendous power for itself. Beepo, with help from his friend Spawny, launched informational probes to gather extensive data on every planet in the galaxy. None returned, as their turtle-like shape makes them impossibly slow. Their findings will have to be manually retrieved. Luckily, I was given the tools to do so. I am intrigued to find out more about the galaxy, and perhaps my place in it.
Hang on a minute, if the idea is that they're too slow to return home, how did they get there in the first place?
Shortly after defeating the Megabug, the heroes disbanded. Some remained at Peach's castle to help her manage the Rabbids there and build a new spaceship. With the sudden arrival and then disappearance of the Dark Miss Manta, who took with it Mario, Beepo, and Rabbid Peach, I gathered the remaining heroes and executed a rescue mission, for which I have yet to hear Beepo say thank you.
Spoilers for Kingdom Battle, by the way. Probably should have brought that up sooner.
I am quite pleased with our spaceship, the WM Arc, Washing Machine Advanced Rabbid Carrier. Its engine systems adapted well to using purified Darkness energy to create warp tunnels. The armory has proven to be efficacious, and the cutting-edge holodeck invaluable. Am I the only one who regards our spaceship as home, or do some of the heroes feel this way as well? The Bob-ombs roaming the galaxy are even more dangerous under Curse's influence, though their modus operandi remains the same. A successful hit will cause one to ignite, while dashing them allows heroes to pick them up and use them as explosives.
Yeah, that's all the memories we have so far. So there's gonna be, usually... I don't know how many members there are in each world. I don't think I've ever counted them out. Huh. Probably should have done that before I started this. I'm gonna try and find all of them. Some of them you get just from playing through the story, and some of them you get from doing side quests, so you don't find all of them. That's something you do kind of have to know going in.
Yeah, boom.
And some of them we
Speed
actually just straight up can't get yet. Which we'll be able to remedy that around the third world, I think. Alright, so we've been doing this for 40 minutes. Let's just do the town real quick. Get some plot in. Oh no! One singular bomb! Look out!
Huh?
He's wandering in circles menacingly.
Blah.
Yeah, remember Mario, you should not be fighting with bombs. That's a bad idea. We're going into slowdown. Gotta get our fancy cutscene in. Explosive situation. Beat all. Hey. Let's switch you out for Peach. that will explode in your freaking face, quite literally.
Warriors of Moria!
I have no idea what he just said there. I kind of wish I got to keep Rabbid Mario for this because I wanted to show Rabbid Mario ignores height and cover whenever he attacks. So even though that bomb's all the way up here, if he was down there, he'd still be able to hit it. Which is really funny. It's so good for Rabbid Luigi. That's perfect.
Nice.
Okay, so now I can cover this now. So the cover is destructible, save for these. Any of these, like, black, jagged, rocky ones cannot be destroyed. The game does register that on the little icons, so that is something to remember. It won't just, it doesn't just screw you over, essentially.
Go me. Huh?
Wait, what? Let me just make sure this isn't gonna... Yeah, okay, it's not gonna explode in your face yet. We just... Get rid of these three.
Ran the table.
Put them down. Oh, I hope you understand. I'm gonna keep this on fast forward for the entire game. I'm never turning that off. Click. And that's it. Yeah, this fight's gonna be pretty basic after for a while.
With Rabbid Luigi.
It's fun, also, it's funky fresh with Rabbid Luigi specifically. Not with Luigi, not with Rabbid Mario, and especially not with Mario. Specifically Rabbid Luigi. That's work getting rid of that bomb. I was worried. Kaboom! The poor creature I found. See, the door to the lighthouse can only be unlocked by the sun. With it gone, we can't get inside. Normally! Lucky for you, this clever little critter can make its own light. Watch, I'll show you. Look at him just grooving. I found this wild creature and I stuffed it in a bag. Like, oh, yes, the sun. I'm safe there. Hey, there's sunlight on that. There was clearly a beam of sunlight hitting that thing. Why didn't that activate it? I feel lied to. Also, solar activated devices. Not the smartest thing when you can sink your entire buildings, specifically for situations like this. I was like, oh good, I can go back to my house. I just casually went by that. Didn't even mind all the goo. Oh, that poor spark of light got spooked and flew that way. I really thought we bonded too. Also, yeah, there's some stuff in the environment you can check in like this.
Was it there? His imaginary friend slash pet. They had an argument and now they're not speaking.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Oh yeah!
A couple other things I can show off. Here's where that other side of the ladder came from, so now we can just knock it down. We can use that as quick travel a little bit. And we can also hit this. Diggy Town flag. No, we're not gonna go to that. It's fast travel. Quick note about fast travel. Whenever you leave an area or fast travel, the random spawned enemies do respawn. So you have to remember that. So fast travel does have a cost, essentially. Which is that the enemies you killed will come back. Also, because Rabbid Mario's injured, we can press down to heal him. It'll cost 95 coins. The coin cost goes up, but that's based off of progress in the game, not based off of actual health recovered. So even if I was only missing 1 HP on one character, it would still be 95 coins. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, now we can do this. I want to show this off. Bombs ruin everything! I got a great deal on this vacation package. Now I know why. This place is crawling with the bombs. I'm more stressed than when I left. Would you get rid of at least 3 of them? I could really use the R&R. So yeah, fighting that randomly spawned bomb to show off was probably not the smartest idea because now there's only 2 of them. And I have to kill 3. So I'm gonna have to respawn all of them in order to actually do that. Which is a little annoying. There's also a mission like this, at least 1 every world. Some of them have 2. Also, you notice that this tree's glowing. That means it has an actual item in it, not just a random coins or a random mushroom or whatever. We'll get to that later. That's kind of like a quick overview of how that works. We got the big town flag. Yeah. There is another side quest we can do. I want to save it because I don't know if the dialogue around it changes depending on how you get to it. And I want to test. So there is another planet coin we could get. And it's basically free. But we're not going to do that yet. How many planet coins do I have? I think I have 3. Yeah, I have 3. So I'm 4 short on this. So, yeah, it's been 15 minutes. I think we're good. Alright, so we made it to Beacon Beach. We've gone through a little bit of Beacon Beach. I've shown off side quests. I've gone over the skill tree. Went over more tutorial stuff. Kind of gave you a quick overlook of how each of the character functions. With the exception of... And yeah, I guess I did show everybody off. I showed off Mario and Rabbids Peach in the tutorial. They gave you like a quick look on how all the characters we have function for now. Quick overview of the skill tree, how that works. And how the healing system in this game works. I should probably show off the difficulty. I'm gonna show off the difficulty slider and how that functions beforehand. I think it's in... Oh no, it should be in options. So because we picked on demanding... Huh. You can make manual saves. I never knew that. If you go to gameplay, you can show the experience setting is demanding. So they're way harder. So if you pick demanding, it just sets everything to the highest setting possible automatically. So enemy threat is high, so they have more damage and more health. Your health is not restored between fights. I don't want to press that. I don't know what the other settings are. I'm assuming the other settings are just you automatically heal at the end of each fight. Hero skill management. I don't know what that means. The hero skills are added to manually. I'm assuming that's your level up system. And then heroes take damage for... Why? I guess if you just want to win without having to actually do anything. That seems lame. Cinematic sensitivity. I'm fine with keeping cinematics on, just because you can skip them anyways. Extra spark actions, I'm fine with that. And then I'm gonna keep that on fast forward. Turn that off. I didn't know that. Go and drop a manual save real quick. Oh, I wish I knew this sooner. I would have been using that way more often. Oh, I feel stupid, but at the same time, I saw there were the 3 main save files, so I assumed there wouldn't be anything else. Man, that's such a good feature. I didn't notice that. I'm upset I didn't know about that sooner. Anyway, we have made the Beacon Beach side quest, all that, skill tree, yada yada. I've shown off the difficulty slider, and we discovered manual saving with multiple slots. So I think this is a productive day. So next time around, I'll probably off-screen some of these bombs just to get rid of them and kind of work towards this. Also because I've shown off one random fight, you don't really need to see many others. I'll probably show off a couple more random fights just to get you more ideas of how some enemies function. But I'm mostly going to be off-screening fights from here that aren't actual... Whenever it's one of those puddles, I'll show them off. That's major fights. But we'll get to the temple and start working on that next time around. So I'm going to see you there.